Hello and welcome to this week's video from Pinnacle Executive Coaching. My name is Teresa Kuka, for those who don't know me yet. I'm a lead coach at Pinnacle Executive Coaching and I'm a certified executive leadership coach. So my mission in life is to influence personal and corporate cultures, which I do through executive coaching on digital platforms, online courses. So feel free to connect and engage with me if you want to develop your leadership capacity in any area. So this week we are going to talk about discipline in leadership. It's a very interesting topic. Leadership is key, and leaders have to be disciplined and work in discipline. So let's take a look at what I have prepared for you. So as you know, business leaders usually have tough jobs. They have to manage themselves, they have to lead others, they have to lead the organization, and they have to head it into the right direction. So a leader is always accountable. We say the buck always falls with the leader. So the leader is ultimately accountable for the organizational success, and this usually brings about a lot of stress, fear. There's a lot of pressure because of the responsibility that is vested upon the leader, and if these things are allowed to take hold, then they can derail the leader, and therefore the leader needs to always maintain discipline in order to manage everything that is concerned with him. So when we talk about discipline, what does it exactly mean? Discipline is a doing verb. It's an action. It is simply something you do. So when we say it involves action, it boils to what you choose to do. And we don't say you're disciplined by just listening. We actually say you're disciplined by observing what you have actually done. So how you perform will show us whether you're disciplined or not. Discipline is the ability to do the things that you'd rather avoid. These are necessary things. These are the things that will take your life to the next level. These are the things that can set you up for greater success in life. These are the things that you could resolve, that would resolve a lot of personal difficult issues, but then most people would rather avoid them. So discipline is just the ability to do things which are not very pleasant, but which have to be done either way. Discipline also gives you the ability to do what you have committed to doing, no matter how inconvenient and how uncomfortable it may be. If you have given your word to somebody and you have promised to do something, discipline will enable you to follow that thing through. You may not feel like it, like we've said, it may not be convenient. In fact, it could just really be that thing that really stretches you. But if you are a disciplined person, you will actually be able to follow through each and every time. Then discipline is also something that ties to our relationships. Discipline involves patience in relationships. You know you're not perfect as a person, and you're always interacting with other people who are also imperfect. So you will require patience to be able to deal with others in a way that will enable you to have harmonious relationships. Always remember that everybody is a work in progress. We are always working to get ourselves better every other day, and therefore some people will be at different levels. Some people will be way ahead of others, and it might really irritate you as a leader. But you have to remember that if you want your relationships to blossom and to thrive, then you have to be disciplined, and you have to be able to try and do the right things which will nurture your relationships and also be able to bear with others. Finally, many people have principles, but not everyone is willing to stick to them. Not everyone is willing to sacrifice for their principles. So when you have discipline, you have to find the strength to stick to your principles. whether it's popular or not, whether it's convenient or not, you have to learn to stick with them. This is what will help you to build up your character, and will also be able to help you to develop your reputation as a leader, because you're able to stick to your word and you're able to bring it to pass. So what are some of the things that we can do to develop leadership? First, you have to know your personal leadership principles. You have to think through this. This is not something that you can copy paste just from other people. You can learn from them, but you really have to be authentic. When you're thinking of yourself as a leader, you have to say, these are the things that I'll stand for personally as a leader. For instance, let's say integrity. Are you going to be able to say that I'll stand by the truth no matter how much it costs me as a leader? And then if this is a yes, a solid yes from you, you write it down. It is personal to you, so that people can know that if Teresa says this, then she really means this. She's not wish-washy. Today she'll be saying this and tomorrow she'll be saying something different. So write down your leadership principles. You can come up with at least 4 or 5, and then list them down and decide on your own volition that you will stick to them no matter what. Then you have to identify and communicate your expectations. Every leader has to be able to identify and communicate the top 3 expectations they have to the people around them for accountability purposes. This, if you're able to do this, you can be able to eliminate a lot of frustrations, because you are clear and the people around you are also clear of what is expected. And then you have to be consistent. If you are inconsistent, then you cannot stand as a leader to be counted upon. And this will only bring about chaos and stress. Then you have to perform. If you don't perform, then it's just obvious. Like we said, discipline is an active verb. It's a doing word. If actually results don't come and you don't actually perform, then you cannot talk about being disciplined in any way. So you have to have a high level of performance, and then you can be able to say you have success as a leader. So the other thing that can help you also is make time to make decisions. Most of the time when we are irrational, we have rushed through something. We've not processed it enough. One of the tactics that you can use as a leader to be disciplined is to allow yourself space back to give ample time to your decision making, so that your decisions are usually well thought out, researched, and they'll come out in a balanced and in a sound way. So you have to really carve time out of your tasks to be able to allocate appropriate time to making decisions. If you force yourself to make decisions when you're pressured or when you have other priorities that are making you feel overwhelmed, then you will have low self-control, and eventually you will not be disciplined, or you will not come across as a disciplined leader. Lastly, you have to reduce the load that is always upon you as a leader if you want to succeed and be disciplined. You cannot do everything, and you can also not micromanage everything. You have to learn the art of delegation. Delegation is very important. It will help you to protect you from being overwhelmed and being irresponsible also. So delegate some of the tasks that you need to do, so that you can be able to free yourself up for very important tasks and to be able to guarantee yourself success. So I hope you've been able to pick 1 or 2 tips that would help you to develop your leadership in the area of discipline. Please feel free to follow me on all my social media channels. As usual, give a like to this video, give a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.